All right, Aaron Schnozberry, what did you learn at INDOC?
Yes, sir. I learned that um, I kind of had I suppose, an unrealistic view of NDOC and what the point of it was. I thought like the course was designed to like train you to like have a certain mindset and up to certain physical standards. But what it's looking for is somebody who's already mature enough to really do the job, just needs more conditioning to be able to do the job. They're looking for somebody who's already physical, in great physical shape, just needs more conditioning to meet the specific standards of the course. Not so much to take somebody, like I was, who was just kind of from the ground, and taken from the ground up. They're looking for somebody who is already pretty well prepared to do the job.
But you get your second time.
Yeah, I get my second time. So.
But what I'm saying is like, even though you came here not fully prepared, going through the first time, getting as far as you did, you got injured. Now you've had time to recover. Now your mindset is like, okay, I got this. Is what I do.
Yeah. It did over time. I just don't think. I think the biggest thing I learned about myself was just that I wasn't really ready to be doing what I was doing. I got. That was the reason. Like I way overtrained in the course because I wasn't physically fit to be doing that kind of activity. So I was having a hard time meeting standards even by the time I was medically set back, just because I had overtrained. And so I learned I needed to be in better shape, and that my mistake coming to the course was not coming to the course in better shape already. I was behind the power curve a bit, so that the people who do really well at NDOC are the people who came in really well, really well trained. Most of them spent years upon years training for this, and then they come in with very mature people, who are in great shape, outstanding shape, and then what this course does is it kind of conditions their mindset to handle the kinds of stress, avoiding panic and things like that in the water, as well as then take their physical fitness, and then condition it to be, toward, calisthenics and stuff to pass the exercise.
Right, so more functional fitness.
Yeah.
You don't want to come here all jacked up. I'm Hans and big,
yeah.
And, right?
Yeah, no, that doesn't. There's still an ability, if you are, big or whatever, to be conditioned, but it's not. It's harder. This course conditions you to do the job and be more functionally fit, and I think more, and have more of a tactical mindset. That's looking for someone who's already mentally strong, just needs their mind to be conditioned, to think tactically.
So when you showed up here, do you think that you had a good mental idea of what was expected of you, or were you completely blown away and like, whoa, I was not expecting this?
I knew a lot about the course. But I just knew like it was going to be really, really hard. I knew a lot of things, but I didn't really understand what that really entailed. So I was kind of blown away by the intensity of the course. I didn't realize it was going to be as intense as it was. I just knew it was going to be a really great challenge, But so I came into the course not as fit as I should be, thinking I'll just overcome all my struggles or whatever. And then it was so way more intense than I expected it to be, and so that kind of that caught me off guard, and I think that was probably.
So you couldn't prepare properly because you had school or a job, or it's hard to juggle all that kind of stuff. And not, you don't have to give me like everything that's going on, but like say somebody has a job or they're going to school. You think work out in the morning, work out at night. Where do you think you can fit in if you have full-time obligations and you're trying to come do something like this?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was just time in preparing. I think you can work out, working out in the morning or, whenever it depends on the person's schedule, but fitting strenuous workouts in every day, kind of like the thing goes, if you don't have time to do a long workout, then you make it an intense workout, if you have time to do a long workout, make it less intense, but do it, for longer. There's ability to make improvements in that sense. But I think more than anything, like I trained really hard for about a year to come here. but I went to BMT and I lost tons of my fitness. And I know my roommate, he was in his late 20s, and he had trained for years. He'd been an athlete and stuff for years, almost like 10 years or something. He'd been cycling, doing all this stuff. And so when he went to BMT, he didn't lose as much. Like the more years of training you
Right.
have, the more time you can take off and still be able to maintain your fitness level. So I think that the biggest thing would just be that of taking time to prepare. You know, I got out of high school and was like, yeah, I really want to do this job, you know, but not understanding like if the people who do better, who are generally older, but they're more mature and have had more years of training. Like I only trained for about a year, whereas some people who were my age, you know, coming out of high school or whatever, they had played intensely in sports and whatnot for years, so they still had more years of training than I did.
So you didn't play any sports in high school or nothing?
No, I didn't.
But, so say you're 14 years old and you're playing football or wrestling or swimming or volleyball. You're doing sports. That kind of basis can build, you know, because, well, anyway, that kind of basis can build and prepare you.
It keeps you overall physically fit, and then, again, what this course does is it conditions you. So people who are really physically fit and have the years of training, you know, it's easier for their bodies to be conditioned. Whereas I trained very specifically for this, and then I came here, and while I still needed to be conditioned, I was behind the power curve because I didn't have the level of fitness to condition so much.
Gotcha.
And I've had more time since then, so this next round will be better. But
All right. Well, I have a phone call. So thank you very much for your time, and I wish you well in your career. Is there anything you want to leave these guys with? Any ideas or anything?
yeah, just never quit, and then I think it's a good idea to make sure you're really ready for the course. Like take the years, you know, the people who do really well here, the people who waited years to come here and made sure they had trained correctly before they came. You know, it's a lot more difficult if you just jump into it.
Right.
So I think the longer you've trained for it, the more committed you're going to be to it. You know, which will make you stronger. You know, overall in the course. So,
All right. Well, thank you very much.
my pleasure.